Gonna be a hot one today. Alright guys, before we get started, go ahead, click subscribe, click that bell, like, comment. All these things help out the channel immensely. If you want to win my Fiat 500 at bar, watch that video. Apparently nobody wants to win a car. Whatever. What do you guys think of the new Harley 338? It's gonna be released in China. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's the thumbnail of this video. There aren't really any specs out for it that I've seen, but looks like a little 338cc Harley. Honestly, it looks like a mini XR 1200, and that's awesome. It looks just like it, but more modernized, I guess, because this is almost a 10-year-old bike. Frankly, I'm sure it's going to be underpowered and overweight, as with all Harleys, and probably way overpriced, but I think it's really cool that they're doing this. They're kind of working outside the normal Harley box. What kind of ticks me off is that they're not bringing it here, because I would 100% buy that motorcycle. It's really cool. It'd be a nice little commuter. It's probably decent on gas. And it looks like a mini XR 1200. It'd look great parked next to this. They're not bringing it here because Americans who only buy American stuff ruin it for everybody. They're gonna say it's not a real Harley. They're gonna say it's crap Chinese bike. They're gonna say all this stuff. They're just ruining it for the rest of us because they're hard-headed. If Harley makes it, it's a Harley bike. I don't care where it's made. As long as Harley does proper QC, it should be a good, reliable bike. If it's designed by Harley but made in China, it should still be a fine bike. Also, these days, you can buy a lot of Chinese bikes that are actually really reliable. I think it'd be really good here to get people into motorcycling. Someone who wants a Harley but doesn't want a huge, heavy 883 or 1200 Sportster. Although it's probably still going to weigh just as much as those somehow. But if they do it right, I think it could be pretty good here for introducing people into motorcycling. Then those people, when they're ready to upgrade, would probably want some sort of Sportster. Newsflash, guys, a real Harley is anything that Harley designs and makes. It doesn't have to be an overweight, underpowered, ugly, giant bagger with a specific sound. The sound, by the way, comes from detuning the engine. I really just can't wait for all of the older generation to die out so they stop ruining everything for everyone else. Then maybe Harley can finally change their branding. There's a lot of people who don't like the Harley branding, and they won't change it because they're as hard-headed as their customers. But when their customers are gone, and they're gone, which won't be too long, then maybe we'll start seeing some innovation and some good products coming out from Harley. If it were to ever come to the States, for me to buy it, it would have to be comparable to a Ninja 300. A Ninja 300 probably weighs a little below 400 pounds. Has about, I don't know, 35 horsepower. My guess is that's not what this bike is going to be. My guess is, I know it's not supposed to be a little sport bike, but it still needs to perform if it's a little bike. My guess is it's going to be more comparable to like a Rebel, an older Rebel 250, but heavier, so not comparable. I'm guessing it's going to be, somehow they're going to make it close to 500 pounds. I don't even know how that's possible, but they're going to do it. And I would guess that it's going to have 25 horsepower around there. I wonder if they're going to publish the horsepower specs for it, since they usually don't for their V-twin engines. But this one, is it a parallel twin? I don't remember. I think it's a parallel twin. Also, price-wise, if it ever came here, it would have to be $5,000 to $6,000, which there's no way they'd do that. It would, well, it'd probably be around the same price as the Street 500. So what are those, like 7,000? So that's a little bit more than I would think it would be worth, but not bad. But maybe they'll surprise me. They didn't surprise me with the live wire. The live wire is extremely disappointing, and I was gonna buy one of those. Not after they came out with the specs. Go buy a Zero for less than half the price and get a way better proven electric motorcycle. Better acceleration, better weight, better range. I'm really excited for the Street Fighter specs to come out, because I'm excited about that, but I'm not getting my hopes up, because again, they're gonna let me down with the specs. But that's a different video. I'll discuss that in another separate video. What I think it's gonna be and what I would hope it would be, what it needs to be for me to buy it, and what I think it's gonna ultimately end up being spec-wise.